So what exactly does this mean for you if you're trying to save?
Joining us live in studio right now is financial advisor Andrew Rafal with Bayntree Wealth Advisors. You're the money guy.
That's what they tell me.
You have all the answers this morning.
What is your first piece of advice for the new year for folks who have been lost for a while?
So one of the major changes with the Secure Act is for retirees. Prior to this year, retirees have to take money out of their IRA accounts, and it used to be at 70 and a half. So what they've done is they've pushed that to 72. Part of it, the thinking there is as we're living longer, it's going to allow retirees to grow their retirement a few more years. So that's a pretty big change, and it's also simplified it. So at 70 and a half, people think, well, when am I 70 and a half? Is it June or July?
It is a weird number to have that in place like that.
So now 72 will be the new number for those moving forward.
What about people who are just starting to plan for retirement? Does this change anything, or what's your advice for them?
So those that are just planning for retirement, one of the biggest changes with the Secure Act is if you had a recent baby. So one of the things you can do now, if you've had a baby or adopted a baby, is you can actually take up to $5,000 out of your IRA account with no penalty. And if a couple can actually take out from both of their accounts. Now that's short-term thinking. Having a baby, it's expensive, but you don't really want to invade your IRA account unless you really have to.
And that's without penalties?
That's without penalties. You'll still pay taxes on it, but that's going to be without penalties.
Okay, that is a big change. All right, let's also talk about if you inherit a retirement account, somebody passes away and leaves it to you. What was it before, and then what does this new law do?
So this is a big change for beneficiaries. Kind of the government giveth and taketh away. In this case, a beneficiary, let's say a child, receives an IRA account. Previously, they'd be able to stretch that IRA distribution out over their lifetime, meaning if a 40-year-old gets an IRA that's $500,000, they could take out a little bit every year. So think about the power of compounding. Now, in 2020 and beyond, anybody who receives an IRA that's a non-spouse will have to take that money out over 10 years. So you think in terms, it's really fast. So the government is thinking there is, let's get those tax dollars out as soon as possible. So some of the planning we're going to see there is more of what we call Roth conversions, taking money out of an IRA, putting it into a Roth IRA account. A Roth IRA account is never taxed. So those of you out there who've done planning, it's very important to sit with your advisor, your tax planner, and really think of how these changes are going to affect you, but then also your family.
And also for those who haven't started, I mean, this can sound very complicated. So just sit down and let them talk to you in normal terms, because a lot of people don't get it.
And it's just start early and think long term, and that's the key to success in retirement.
Andrew, thank you for being here so early this morning and watching all the shenanigans behind the scenes.
Love it. You guys are great.
It's top secret, by the way, what happens here.
I signed that disclosure, right? So we're good.
Thank you, Andrew.
Thank you so much. We'll be right back.